Με ιδιαίτερη χαρά θέλω να μεταφέρω την αγάπη, τις ευχές και ευλογίες του Σεβασμιωτάτου Αρχιμητροπολίτη μας Αλεξίου. With the special honor and joy, I'd like to convey to you the love, the prayers and blessings of His Eminence, our Metropolitan Alexius, and together with His Eminence wish to each and every one of you many years filled with the love of God and His blessings. My beloved brothers, today we heard the Gospel where Jesus really puts His finger about our relationship to Him. Many times we see our faith in terms of rules and regulations, 10 Commandments, what the Church teaches us about different things, about fasting and prayer and so forth. And Jesus says, you can do all these things, yet your heart may be far away. He says, you are kind to people that they are kind to you, but you benefit nothing because you do exactly a business transaction. You're going to be kind to them because you want them to be kind to you as well. You give them money because you want your money back. But I'm asking you to embrace a new paradigm, a new life. And that new life is a life of God. God created us to be in His image and in His likeness, which really means that we need to do exactly who God is. If we are made and we are copies of His image and His likeness, whatever we attribute to God, except His essence, because we cannot really be gods, we need to be the same way ourselves. So if you say God is love, then we need to be loving. If you say God is merciful, then we need to be merciful. If you say God is forgiveness, then we need to be forgiving. If we say God is generous, we need to be generous. So He says, look at your heart. Yes, we need the regulations. Yes, we need the 10 Commandments. Yes, we need the rest of the things that God is telling us that we need to do. But those things are pointing to the heart. And if you just see them only as an end to themselves, then you miss the point. You miss the point who God is. And not only you miss the point who God is, but you miss the point who you are. Because if we are made in His image and likeness, we are missing to find out who we are as human beings. I tell often that the further we run away from God, the further we run away from our humanity, and the further we run away from each other. We become alienated. We become strangers, not only among ourselves, but among our own essence of who we are as human beings. Instead of becoming human, we become inhuman. So Christ tells us, be kind and be merciful to the unkind and to the unmerciful, because God is like that. God shows the world a different way to do business, if you want. And that's exactly what our Christianity is all about. He's asking us not only to find ourselves as Christians and as human beings, but He's also asking us to make a difference in the world that we live. And He said to us, You are the salt of the earth, and you are the light of the world. What are the attributes of the salt? The attributes of the salt is to preserve. It has preservative qualities. So when we're going to preserve food, we use salt. So if you want to preserve this society that we live in and don't let it spoil, you need to be that salt. But you need to be that salt if you live your faith not outwards but inwards, from your heart, from your life, and be an example of Christ-like life. And the light is the same way. Without light, we have darkness. And if we want our society to have light, we need to be agents of light, because Christ himself is the light of the world. And we need to shine. We need to shine by God. He said it. Let your light so shine among men, so they will see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. So my beloved brothers and sisters, if there's a moral of the story that we heard today from Jesus Christ, is that let us look at our souls and how much we love God and how much we practice our faith. Not some applicatory way that we are trying to satisfy God. God doesn't need to be satisfied. He did what he did for each and every one of us because of his abundant love that he had for us. He couldn't even stand for us, although we ran away from him, to let us perish, but he came, and not only he came on this earth, he took a form of a servant, and he suffered, he was scourged, and he was crucified so he can save us. That's the love that God has for us, and that's the love that we need to have for one another. Not for another reason, but for our own reasons. To be truly beautiful, the way that God created us to be, full of love. Can you imagine a society that people love so much one another, that instead of pushing people down, we uplift each other up? We embrace each other with our strengths, but also with our weaknesses, and we don't pay attention to them. Our love supersedes everything, like the love of God supersedes everything. That's what God wants us to be, and we are the followers of Christ. That's why we have the title Christians, and we need to take that very seriously. Be the Christians that live their faith, that we are loving, we are kind, we are merciful, we are forgiving, we are strengthening, we are giving hope to a society that needs us more than any other time, especially during this horrible pandemic. Now, something that I haven't done, I'm going to ask you just for 2 seconds to lower your mask, because I want to see your faces, how beautiful they are. Thank you so much. You all look awesome. And I hope one day we will not need those masks, but today we need them, and we need to put them on for not only for us, but for the people around us, that they may be their immunity and their health compromised. So God help us, and may God deliver us from this pandemic very, very soon. God bless you.